Hello, I got Tassus over here to come over to do some pel work with spears. And then we were doing a little drill where we weren't throwing any shots. We had our helmets on, our gauntlets, and we're just working on some basic defensive stances. And sort of what I was working on is what happens when someone tries to push on your spear or knock it out of the way. And so I'm going to do my best impersonation of what he was doing at the beginning of our practice. And this is actually a follow-up from, I think, a fight we had about a week ago. Doing great, but this is just one of the holes in the defense that we're working on. So you should see Tassus' spear come up. Here's my spear. So he's going to be me and I'm going to be him. So we're standing here. I've got myself pretty well defended. Okay, I'm not way out here. I don't have anything left open. I'm in a good defensive position. What he's going to do is he's going to try to push my spear offline. So push it offline. Boom. Okay, what would happen is that he would just let it go way offline, but he's open. So then what he has to do is he has to compensate and bring it back online. So he would bring it back online, and when he would do that, I would just dip under his spear, so dip under my spear, and he would go like this, and I'd be open. Now this might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but basically the idea is go ahead, flip it offline, we'll do full speed. That's kind of what was happening. Do it again. Yeah, so what happened is he would go offline, he got quick reflexes, he would come back online, and so we talked about how to basically maintain the line. So I'm just going to show you a little example of what it's like to maintain the line. So I'm just going to play my defense, and I want you to try to knock my spear around and create some openings. I'm just going to try to hold my defense. Okay, so basically notice I never let my spear fly off line. Now, I've worked with some, I fought against some better fighters that maybe aren't great spearmen, but they're decent enough. And they would have the opposite problem. And so what happens is, in order to keep him from knocking my spear offline, I have to put a little bit of muscle into it. But you can also put too much muscle into it. And so this is what happens when you put too much muscle into it. Now I'm going to... Yeah, what happens is because I'm pushing so hard, when he dip underneath, my spear just flies over. In addition to that, sometimes when I see somebody that's pushing pretty hard, even if they can defend that first shot, what I find they tend to do, keep your spear down for a second, what I find they tend to do is that they're so tight that they get their spear moving pretty hard. It's pretty easy to just throw a couple feints, time it, and then move around. So what we're looking for is an in-between. And the way I describe it is, if you've ever seen that game where two people stand in front of each other and they put their hands up and they try to push the other person, and what you're looking for is you're hoping that you're hoping they're going to provide a little bit of stiffness and you can throw them off their balance. But if they completely give, then you end up throwing yourself off balance, or if they push at you and you are too stiff, they throw you off balance. So what we're looking for is basically to try to be relaxed and only put as much pressure as the person who's trying to throw you off provides you. If they ramp up the pressure, you try to ramp up and meet it. When they pull the pressure off, you try to pull the pressure off. Now again, this is if they're trying to push me, and I'm just trying to hold my defense. So we're going to do that again. Just try to push me offline, I'm going to try to hold it. Yep. Yep. And again, when he dips to the other side, go ahead and dip the other side. I'm just basically moving over and pulling that line off. So yeah, we did this drill for like maybe about 5 minutes, and Tassus went from not being very good at it to being, I would say, near perfect. So then we just have to sort of reinforce this at practice and then see what happens when we fight for real. There you go.